Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Mavid Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Ariyati Tarasivaya Bhagavarisa Gugayil Arivai Rami Parama Arunachala Ramanan Parival Uram Muruganala Paranarndidu Arivam Vizhitiravai Nisam Arivai Adu Veliyam Annamalayai Adiyenai ஆண்டன்றே ஆவியுடல் கொண்டாயனக்கோர் குறையுண்டோ குறையும் குணமும் நீ அல்லால் என்னேனிவற்றை என் உயிரே எண்ணம் எதுவோ அது செய்வாய் கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையில் காதற் பெருக்கே தருவாயே கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையில் காதற் பெருக்கே தருவாயே. ஓம் அதிமதுரசாபஹஸ்தாம் अपरिमितां मोदभान सौभाग्यां अरुणां अतिशय करुणां अभिनव कुलसुंदरीं वंदे. ओम ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं. सर्ववेदांत सिद्धांत गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविंदं परमानंदं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोस्म्यहम्. So now the Guru has started his Upadesha. He says, Mokshasya hetuhu pratamo nigadyate vairagyam atyantam anityavastushu. The first and foremost thing what you have to develop in you is atyanta vairagya for the sense objects. And then you have to practice shama, dhamma, titiksha in your heart. And then you have to give up all the desire prompted activities. So once all these things are done, the mind is so pure and it becomes very subtle, then it will be a fit patram to receive this knowledge. Then you have to listen to the teacher, Shravana, Shrutihi, Tan Mananam, and then you have to contemplate on it. And then you have to deeply meditate on those ideas. Then you reach a state of samadhi where no more thought arises, meaning all the sense of otherness sense of separateness, everything is lost, and you abide in that one without the second. So with this he attains to that nirvana sukham. Nirvana sukham samruchati. Iha eva. Here only you will attain to that nirvana sukham, Guru said. And then he said, now I am going to teach you whatever you have asked. What you have asked? The discrimination between the Atma and Anatma Vastu. Now I am going to teach you that. Explain to you in detail. Listen to me attentively. See? Listen to me attentively means what? Without distracting yourself with so many other things. And without wool gathering. You know what is wool gathering? People go on manoratham in English, in Sanskrit it's called manoratham. They go on, thinking just like that for no reason. Daydreaming, they say, daydreaming, wool gathering. So without that, now listen to me. So what is Anatma? He is going to take one by one. First he is going to take gross body, this physical body. So all the attack starts from the physical body only. So the gross body. So that is Anatma. Anatma is not the self. Atma means the self. I am, myself. Anatma means not myself. Though we consider this body to be myself and we say it is mine, but still the Shastras say, the Vedanta Shastras say, it is not you. You are something else. Please know your true self. That's what the Vedanta Shastra says. Now Anatma means it starts from the gross body. From the verse 72 it starts. Majjasti medha palarakta charma ahvayai tvagahvayai dhatu biranvitam vayai dhatu biranvitam Padoru vaksho bhuja prishta mastakaihi Angai upangair upayuktametat. So he says, the body is made up of 7 ingredients, he says, but in Sanskrit it's called dhatus. Sapta dhatu. So 7 ingredients. What are all those? He starts with majja. Majja means bone marrow. In the bone, inside there is a marrow, bone marrow. And then asti. Asti means bones. Other than asti karakkiradumanga. After a person is burnt, whatever remains, they go and put it in the river, dissolve it in the river. Asti. And then medaha. Medaha means fat, kolpu. That we have seen in Lalita Sahasranam also. You remember, there are 7 devatas, yogini. So each one is sort of involved in nurturing each of these dhatus. So medaha. And pala means fresh, flesh. Sadai. Rakta, blood. Charma means inner skin. And he said dermis. And twaga means outer skin. Epidermis, he says. So, twaga ahvayaihi dhatubihi ebihi ravintam, meaning it is made up of all these 7 dhatus. The gross body means it is made up of all these 7 dhatus. There is nobody else in the world with extra dhatu. These are all the 7 dhatus. Similarly, there is nothing more than the 5 elements. There are only 5 elements. So it is made up of all these dhatus. All of us have got. So that is why it is said in Bhajagovindam, Don't get deluded. What is this after all? It is just flesh and blood. Nothing else. This body. Why are you so deluded by this? So, it is made up of all these saptadhatus. And also, padaha, the feet, uru, thighs, vaksha, chest, brushta, bhuja, the shoulders, prishtabhagam, the back, mastakaihi, the head, angai rupangaihi, upayukta medad. It is made up of all these organs, all these limbs, different limbs of the body. This is called as gross body. First of all, is defining what is gross body. Don't mistake it to be anything else. It is this, which is the feet, thighs, the abdomen, the trunk, the back. See how clearly he is defining with the head on it. This is the gross body. Yes, we know. But when it comes to philosophy, it comes to scientific analysis, so he is not leaving anything behind. Everything is covered here. And then what is this body actually? This is very important. Aham mameti pratitam shariram mohaspadam stulamityate budaihi nabho nabaswaddahanam bhumayaha Sukshmani bhutani bhavanti tani. Aham mameti pratitam shariram. Mohaspadam stulamityate budaihi. Nabho nabaswaddahanam bhumayaha Sukshmani bhutani bhavanti tani. What is this shariram, this gross body? Aham mama iti pratitam. So, whenever we have got this idea, I am this, it is mine. For all these ideas of I-ness and minus, this is the aspadam. Pratitam means what? This is the central thing which creates this idea of I-ness and minus. Without the gross body, the idea of I-ness cannot arise. This is solid, no? So we think this is me. That is why we spend so much of time in front of the mirror, decorating ourselves. Why? This is me. And it is mine. Mine means what? I have to take care of it very jagradya, carefully. So we pamper this body. So, aham mama iti pratitam shariram. Mohaspadam, it is seat of all delusion. Moha. Why? Since we do not know the self, we take this body to be the self. So that is the moha, delusion. So it is seat of all delusion. Sthulamiti iryate budaihi. This is called as gross body, says the budaihi, the wise ones. So in the very first verse itself, Sri Shankara defines Mohaspadam, the seat of all delusion. If only you can understand that this gross body is not me, you have taken a great leap in the spiritual path, actually. But it's deeply ingrained in us that this is me. That is why the first grey hair, the youngster would be devastated. Gone. But nowadays nobody becomes old, I suppose, except one or two. Everybody is young. I mean, physically also, see, to look at, I mean. No gray hair, that's what I mean. So, we consider ourselves to be this. And we are so disturbed when something happens to this. So much is the identification that even small little thing happen to the fingertips or to the nails. Oh, we react so much. We get so disturbed. Why? Because it is my identity, it is me. I want to present myself as the most attractive one, most intelligent one. So, this is mohaspadam, seat of all delusion. And from this identification with the gross body comes the idea of I and mine. So, aham mameti pratitam shariram. It is a central, thing from identifying which the I and mine comes forth. So this is the gross body, says the wise ones. Now, after that, he is enumerating all the 5 elements. So what he says? Nabaha, space. Nabaha means space. Nabasvad. Nabasvad means what? The air. Dahana, the fire. Ambhu, the water. And Bhumayaha, the earth. Sukshmani bhutani bhavanti tani. The subtle elements are there. Bhavanti means it is there. It is there, na? The Pancha Mahabhutas. But initially, it was in its subtle form. When it is in subtle form, it is called as tanmatras. The technical term is tanmatras. Tatu matram. It is existing by itself. Tatu matram. Only that. And later, it combines with other elements and becomes grossified. So before that, tanmatra means what? Tatu matram. Means what? These subtle elements, they remain as their own self. Meaning what? Without mixing up with anything. In its purest subtle form, they remain. And then what happens? He is talking now about the gross body. Now, how the gross body is formed? Through the gross elements, not the subtle elements. Now, these subtle elements are going to become gross, and then the gross form body is formed. How it is going to become gross? A process called as panchikara. And Gurudev says, the pentameter self-division, mutual combination. What a bombastic, And you know what? The beginners, the students of Vedanta, they break their head about this Panchikarana. And they ask this question, Swamiji, can you please explain Panchikarana as if it is a very important concept, Brahma, somehow it has become gross, okay? No, tell us the Panchikarana, please. Okay, we will tell you what is Panchikarana. But be attentive, it is a little, you have to give attention, that's all. It's not a very difficult thing. Parasparam shair militani bhutva stula nichasta shula sharira hetavaha stula sharira hetavaha matrastadhiya vishaya bhavanti shabdadhaya pancha sukhaya bhoktuhu parasparam shair militani bhutva stulani cha stula sharira hetavaha matrastadhiya vishaya bhavanti shabdadaya pancha sukhaya bhoktuhu. Parasparam shaihi militani means these tanmatras, these subtle elements, the 5 elements are there, Paraspara amshaihi. Amshai means, the part of each tanmatras, they mix up with others. Paraspara elements. That much only Shankara has also explained. Chastula Sharira Hetavaha. With those gross elements, this gross body is made of. So, how this grossification happens? Through a process called as Panchikarana, which is explained. Do you all have the books in your hands? Please have the book, because it is given here in the diagram. It is given. With the diagram, if you follow, it is easy to follow. Please. So the process of pentamerous self-division and mutual combination. So in the first stage, if you see in your book, the tanmatras, meaning the subtle elements, are by itself. The 5 elements are there: ether, air, fire, water, earth. Right? And then in the second stage, what happens? They divide themselves into equal half. The upper half and the lower half, let us say. So equal half, let us say. That is the second stage. Third stage, see, the third stage actually is, here it is given as if they have divided into 2 distinct, upper half and lower half. Then what happens? The upper half remains intact. Let us say the ether means upper half of the ether is ether only. Half the portion remains intact. Similarly, the other elements also. The lower half, that is half portion of ether, gets divided into 4 parts. See, if you see there, 4 parts. So let us say 1 by 8, 1 by 8, 1 by 8, 1 by 8. So it becomes half totally, right? Now what happens? The ether, the lower 1 by 8, 1 by 8 portions are then 4 portions. So ether gives 1 by 8 to air, 1 by 8 to fire, 1 by 8 to water, 1 by 8 to the earth. Similarly, other elements also give their lower half 1 by 8. The air gives 1 by 8 to the space, and then to the fire, and then to the water, and then to the earth. Like that they combine. So ultimately what happens when you see how the gross element, half portion of that own element, let us say ether, and 1 by 8 of other elements. 1 by 8 of this air, fire, water and earth. So like that, each element, these are called grossified elements. And this process is called as Panchikarana. Are you able to understand? So with the diagram it is very clear. Don't break your heads. It is not that important, but still it is very clear. So if you say grossified ether, it means what? Half of the ether, and then 1 by 8 of the air, 1 by 8 of fire, 1 by 8 of water, 1 by 8 of earth. So similarly other elements. So this is called as Panchikarana. So this has become the grossified elements. So with the grossified elements, the gross body is formed. So what is this gross body after all? Nothing but Panchamahabhutas in gross form. Actually speaking, the subtle tanmatras you cannot see. It's not available. Only when it is grossified, it is available. You understand? And now, what are the sense objects? What are the sense objects? Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Shabda means sound. They are the sense objects for the ears, right? Sparsha means the feeling of touch. That is a sense object for the skin, right? Rupa, form. That is sense object for the eyes. Rasa, taste. That is sense object for the tongue. And the smell for the nose. So these are the 5 objects available. Whatever may be the different objects, but it is perceived by the sense organs as what? Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. That is what he is saying in the next 2 lines. Matraha tadiya vishaya bhavanti. When these subtle elements, when they are not grossified, when they are in tanmatra form, they are the objects. Meaning Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha. Object means not this object or not mango, not that. Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha is called as objects. Because senses can perceive Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha. The sound, the form, the smell, the taste, that's what the senses can perceive. So actually what we are perceiving is the Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha. Whatever you may see or hear or touch, this is what we are. See how scientifically they are approaching the subject matter. See, Shabdadaya Pancha Sukhaya Bhoktuhu. And this 5 objects, Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha, for what? Sukhaya Bhoktuhu, for the experiencer to enjoy. Bhoktuhu means experiencer, the jiva, that is me. Sukhaya, for me to enjoy. So when these subtle elements, when they grossify through Panchikarana, as we explain now, it becomes the gross body. The gross elements goes to become the gross body. And when they are in the Tanmatra form, they are the world of objects. Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha. See? Guna Guneshu Vartante. Here also it is Panchabhuta only, there also Panchabhuta only. This Panchabhuta which is in the gross form has got great fascination for the Panchabhuta which is in the subtle form. And this Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha is for what? For this person, this ego self or the experiencer to enjoy. But in the name of enjoyment we suffer. Why we suffer? Because too much of indulgence. And not only that, it is all actually not true. It is all false. It's only an appearance. It is not the truth. Therefore, it can never quench our thirst, real thirst. Only the infinite can satisfy us, not the finite. Our acharyas used to tell this again and again. Only infinite can satisfy us, not the finite. Because the finite is not true. It appears, but it is not there actually. That is why the happiness eludes. Though it seems to be the happiness, but it eludes. Only the Atmananda, the infinite, that can satisfy us. This is Shabda. The bird chirping. Though the bird, everything is there, but what we hear? Shabda. Shabda. They are beating the drums now. Shabda. So when the breeze, when it moves, sparsha, and you are seeing me, though I am a solid thing sitting here, what you are seeing is Rupa. And after this class, you will go to the Annakshetra and have some puri, kilangu also. Swamiji, how do you know? I know everything. I know everything. What is in the future also. Now the mind goes to the puri, kilangu. Oh, good, good. That is taste only, no? And the smell of sambar or kilangu, all those stuff. So it is always for the individual's experience or enjoyment. So this is what is said here. And then moving on. See, this Vivekachudamani is a very complete text. Everything of Vedanta is explained. Shankara is really a great manifestation of the Lord. A brilliant person. He has covered everything of Vedanta in this one book, masterpiece. Masterpiece of Shankara it is. So then, moving on. Sayesha mudha vishayeshu baddhaha rago rupashena sududamena आयान्ति निर्यान्त्यथ ऊर्ध्वमुच्चैः स्वकर्मधूतेन जवेन नीताः ययेष मूढा विषयेषु बद्धाः रागोरुपाशेन सुदुर्धमेन आयान्ति निर्यान्त्यध ऊर्ध्वमुच्चैः स्वकर्मधूतेन जवेन नीताः ययेष मूढ़ाः, he is मूढ़ाः. Our Gurudev says congenital idiot, he says. That is what he says. Moodaha. Vishayeshu baddhaga. Vishayeshu baddha. Who has been tied by these sense objects. Vishayeshu. The Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha. How he is tied? Raga Urupashena. He is tied because he has got inside Raga, the likes, because of the vasanas. Urupashena. Pasha means the rope actually. So it's a very strong rope. Urupashena baddha. He is tied through to these sense objects through the rope called attachment. Meaning he is very attached. Sudurdhamena. And it is very difficult to cut asunder this attachment. See, whatever we may say, we have got a special preference for our own food. Is that not so? Because from the early childhood onwards, we have been brought up in certain way. Even when we go to, let us say, see, recently we had gone for a all India sort of yatra, Sri Ramana Vichara Yatra. In Rajasthan, we were searching for Indian restaurant, South Indian restaurant. Where would we get some idlis? Hare Rama, in Rajasthan, where would you get idli? Even if you get it, it is not idli. It is only a cartoon of idli. And the sambar is no more a sambar. But you know what we just found? The Dasha Prakasha there, the South Indian restaurant. And the ayah who was traveling with me, a Pakka South Indian, he was so delighted. And when he saw the filter coffee, I could see sort of his eyes glowing. I have found. Very difficult to cut asunder this pasha, this raga, this attachment towards the sense objects. Very, very difficult actually. Taste. See, the last thing to go is taste actually. Because eyes also can, go. Not able to see properly, not able to hear. But naak matra or moda neeru. No teeth to, eat, but I want. So people put everything in mixie and then they drink. All this, muruku and all, very difficult to, but they powder it and then but it is not muruku actually. So it is very difficult. So why we are attached? Because we have got those vasanas inside from our previous experiences. Yesterday evening, the cook was very, very kind. He said, I would make this prasadam for you, Swamiji, because Bhagavan's Jayanti. So he prepared a kesari, right? The night they served. So, very attached. But if you are a diabetic, you can only watch others eating. I tell you. If you have BP and diabetes, it's a very good combo. Because you cannot eat anything savory also, like uppu, salt, and anything sweet also. Then where will you go? You have to eat only that fruits. And the pathetic fruits only you have to eat. Why are you saying so much? It is very healthy. That is why it is very pathetic. What else you can eat, huh? So we are very attached to the senses. And people are there. They go to weddings, marriages, and they eat lot of sweet. Swamiji, I will take one more medicine, extra dose of medicine. I will eat now. Actually, we are not eating food. Food is eating us. Every day food is eating us. So we are not eating actually. So he is Mudaha. He is such an idiot that he is unable to give up his attachment towards the sense objects. Till he goes to the grave, he is unable to give up. And that is why what happens? Ayanti, Niryati, he comes and goes. Meaning what? Again and again he is born here. Because the vasanas are there, very much deep within him. To fulfill those vasanas, he has to take another birth. So that is what said in our scriptures. The Lord is very kind. Okay, in this janma it is not satisfied. Okay, I will give you another body, another, circumstances, environment, so that you can indulge, satisfy yourself. But it will not end. That is the Maya. It will not end. So Ayanti, he comes again. Niryanti, then he goes to some other loka. If he has done punya, then he will go to some other loka to enjoy subtle pleasures. Adaha urdhvamuchaihi. Adaha means what? He goes down or up. Meaning what? There are some lokas down below, Patala and all they say, no? Naraka loka. And Swarga and all up they say, no? This is what said in our, Puranas and other places. Yeah, Sapta lokas. So he goes down or he goes up. So, Adaha urdhvamuchaihi. Swakarma dutaha javena nitaha. Because of their own karmas, because of the karma bandhana, they have created these vasanas. When you experience something with an idea of I am the doer and experience, it creates a dent or an impression in the mind called as vasanas. Those vasanas propel you again and again in the world. And to fulfill that, you have to come again and again. So, karma dutena, the karma is here referred as duta, the messenger, dutan, Rama dutan, like karma duta. Because of those karma dutas, javena nitaha, forcefully they are taken. Where? To the higher worlds or to the lower worlds. So again and again he is born and he is reborn. And this chakkar continues. Why it is called as chakkar? What else we are doing? We are earning and spending, enjoying or suffering, mating and procreating. That's all. It goes on like that. Then, mupu pini sakad, old age, disease and death. It continues. Is that not so? So what else we are doing? Again we have to start A, B, C, D. I tell you, it's very terrible. I'm so scared to take that, shoulder bag and then walk like this to the school. Then to start studying once again. Same twinkle, twinkle, little star. I tell you, very difficult. And then the parents won't leave you. Oh, public exam, 10th, 12th. Everything depends on this. You have to study. This tuition, that tuition. My God. Oh Lord, I don't want to get another birth because of this tollai. This trouble, You have to write another exam, 10th or 12th you have to write. And then university, you have to get proper university. It's all, I tell you. And people don't leave us. With a whip. Ode, run. And we don't know where to run, why we are running. But we run. Why? We don't know what else to do. So, Ayanti Niryanti. He comes and goes. Adaha Urdhvam Uchchaihi. He goes down or goes up. Swakarma Dutena. Because of his own karma. Javena Nitaha. See, they say Yamadutas. They come and they drag you, they say, na. So, which drags you? Your own karma comes as the Yamaduta or Duta, and it drags you to the higher world or to the lower. How beautiful expression, see? Swakarma Dutena, not Yamaduta now. Swakarma Dutena, your own karma now comes as Yamaduta or Duta, and it drags you. Means what? Helpless you are. You cannot say, no, I won't come. No, you have done so much of papa. Now you have to come to the Naraka. Anga yenna kopparela pottu onne mukki edukkum. Boiling oil, right? There. The pakoda porikira mari. So you have no choice actually. That is why very aggressively you are pulled, you are taken away. So all because of what? Because this fool is attached to the senses. So he wants enjoyment always. Swamiji, we want you to teach Vedanta through fun way. You always want fun. Youngsters say, no? Always want fun. Fun means enjoyment. So always wanting enjoyment in one way or other. Now everything is available. I go to certain houses. 11:30, 12, the son and the daughter in the house order from Swiggy or from somewhere and eat. Akala Bhojanam. Akala Bhojanam is very dangerous. And all sorts of things they eat. And you know, there is nothing. And now so much of bakeries are available, this, that, everything is available. You order everything to your home and eat. Drink. Indulge. And those experiences create lot of impressions in your mind. You want that experience again and again. And you do it again and again. You cannot escape. This is vicious circle. Then you are not satisfied. When you die, you are not full. Everything is done and dusted. Nothing more to do. Nowhere to go. I am fulfilled. No. Still those vasanas are there. I want to enjoy more. If there are good vasanas, you go to the heavens. Very terrible vasanas, you have to go to the hell. Then both are, cutting even, so you have to come to the earth. And then once again, the tamasha continues. So all this is because he is tied to his own senses and is attached. So therefore, in Ashtavakra Gita, Sri Ashtavakra says, when you are attached to the senses, that is called as bondage. When you withdraw from the sense objects, that is moksha, that is liberation. This is the truth, he says. And then he says, Yata ichasi tata kuru. Like Sri Krishna, he says there, Yata ichasi tata kuru. Recently we have been studying Ashtavakra Gita. It is all available in the YouTube. He says, Yata ichasi tata kuru. But it is in Tamil, huh? So then you do whatever you want. The choice is yours. If you are attached to the senses, you are bound. You will have to come again and again. If you withdraw from the sense objects through discrimination and have proper vairagya, then you are liberated. Yatha ichasi tata. Then you do whatever you want. No, Swamiji, apram paatupom. Now I want to enjoy. Let us see later. This punya papa and all I don't believe in, But when you are young and energetic, enjoy. These politicians, they don't care for all this punya papa, I suppose. Otherwise, how can they hoard this much of wealth and do this much of anyaya and akrama? They loot everybody. I don't know what they are going to do with the wealth also. This kind of thousands of crores, what they will do, I really don't know. My God, crazy. There is no sort of ceiling for their greed. My God. And you know what? Brahma will be wondering, I have not created still those hells to put these fellows. I need to create some special hells now. Available hells are not sufficient. They cannot cater to these fellows, Rakshasas. They are not even Rakshasas. They are super Rakshasas. Rakshasas will feel ashamed seeing these people. Nambala onnume illa. See? So this is Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani Jadaresh. Kripaya Pare Pahi Murare. O Lord, please protect me from this vicious circle of birth and rebirth. Lord says, for that, don't get attached to the sense objects. Don't get attached to your own emotions and thoughts. Detach. Asangoham. That is the Moola mantra. Asangoham. Asangoham punah punaha. Why? Satchidananda Rupoham. In my true self there is no attachment. Because there is nothing else to get attached there. Because there is one without the second. Ahameva. I alone am. Aham avyayaha. The imperishable. Avyayaha means imperishable. So therefore this is the mantra. Detach from all the objects. From all the beings. Don't get emotionally attached also. Not worth it. And don't get attached to your own pet ideas and concepts also. We get very attached to our ideas and intelligent people. When somebody shakes their, understanding, they get so restless. After all, they are just thoughts. How does it matter? So that is the lot of this mudha. And then this verse, very beautiful, because here Shankara says, how in the world, if you see, certain animals and beings, because they are attached to one senses, how they are destroyed. But alas, man, he has got 5 senses very active. Then what will happen to him? That is his question here. See? Shabdhadevi panchabhireva pancha. Shabdhadevi panchabhireva pancha. Panchatvamapu swagunena baddhaha. Kuranga matanga padanga meena. Bringanara panchabhiranchitakim. Shabdhadibi panchabhireva pancha. Panchatvamapu swagunena baddhaha. Kuranga matanga padanga meena. Bringanara panchabhiranchitakim. See, it is a great art, talent to put everything in one line without disturbing the meter also. So that is the greatness of these poets, They are experts in that. How much ideas are packed. Shabdadibihi panchabihi. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, they are 5. Right? The objects are 5. Eva panchatvam apuhu swagunena baddhaha. We are attached to these objects because of our own vasana. Swagunena eva baddhaha. Because of our own vasanas, karma vasanas, we are bound to any of these senses or to all these senses. And then he narrates how each one of these animals are destroyed because of their attachment to the senses. First thing he takes Kuranga. Kuranga means deer because of Shabda. It said the deer, they are very attracted by the music or the sound. So the hunters, what they do, they play beautiful music. So the deer cannot move and then they are caught. So Kuranga, then Madanga, elephant. Elephant, they are very attached to the touch, sense of touch. So during mating season, they train the she elephant. There also they train the she elephant. See, why I don't know. And the she elephant, after sufficient training, it goes and it invites the he elephant. And both of them, they rub against each other. That's sparsha, sparsha, sparsha. And then the she elephant brings the he elephant and puts him into that pit. Especially, made for that he elephant to be caught. So the யானை அந்த படுகுழியில் விழுந்து எதனால want to be always the sparsham of that she elephant. Even among the human beings, we also want always a sparsham. I tell you, it's all very deep, not to laugh actually, very deep actually. Sparsham. And then Padanga. Padanga means moth. Moth or firefly is a moth. So they are attracted towards what? Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa. See, in order he has given, see how beautiful. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa. They are attracted towards the bright colors or that fire. So they come very fast and then they jump into it as if it is wonderful, but they get burnt. So we also get so attracted towards forms. Is that not so? And we like so much of symmetry, attracted towards forms. So the Padanga, that firefly or moth, is destroyed because of its attachment towards the Rupa. And Meena, Rasa, Meen means fish. What happens? You keep a bait, right? Or worm, you connect it and you keep it as a bait. And this fish is so fond of that, in order to catch it, it is caught. The fish is caught. So rasa, because of rasa, the fish is destroyed. So as I told you, the rasa remains till the end. Rasa. And sometimes, when it rains, we feel, if there is pakoda and tea, how nice it would be, na? And our coordinators were so compassionate. Yesterday or day, she made pakoda also, na? And gave you all pakoda, na? You didn't eat? I told her, don't pamper them too much. It is not a wedding feast. It is a class, it is tapasharya. No, pavam. Let them eat. They have come away from their homes, leaving their wives and children, or husband and children, and they have come here to a different state, different language, and they are caught here as prisoners. They cannot go out anywhere. See, we are keeping the roads like this voluntarily, deliberately, so that you will not run away. You cannot escape. You will not know to ride a bike. You will go and fall on that marshy ground. So that is why it has been made that way. You are all captive audience. You cannot run away. So this Meena Pavo, it is caught because it is attached to the taste. And then Bringa. Bringa means honeybee. Here Gurudev says, honeybee, they are attracted towards the smell of the fragrant smell of the flower. And they come running. And they take the honey. And then honey, that beehives are created, right? But alas, the hunter comes and he destroys the beehives and the bee also. So they get destroyed because of their attachment towards the smell. Initially they are attracted towards the smell of fragrant smell of the flower, it seems. and then only they go in for the honey. That is what is said here. And then this is a punchline. They say a punchline. The last line is a punchline. Shankara asks, if this is true, Naraha, what about man? Panchubhi anchitaha kim. He is attached to all the five senses. He is vigorously attached to all the five senses. What to talk about him? What would be his gati? You yourself imagine what would be his gati. He is not explaining. He says what would be his gati when he is attached to all the five. See, sex indulgence is so intense and so difficult to conquer because all the five senses are involved. Intensely it is involved. So it is very, very great Maya actually. It's all not easy. And also from the amoeba onwards we have been indulging. That is how the Lord has created to keep the world going. Is that not so? That self-preservation. The species has to preserve their species, themselves. No? So this is deeply ingrained in us, this attraction towards the other sex. Not nowadays, not other sex also, I don't know what also. I don't know all those things. But it is deeply ingrained, the sexual attraction. And this rasa is so deep in us, it is not difficult to give it up. And it is said in Gita, only when you realize that Paramatma, the self, Paramatma, which is Puranam, you can really give up the rasa of all these sense objects. Otherwise it will be lingering in your mind. Howsoever you are detached, it lingers in your mind. Only on perceiving or seeing that or experiencing that ananda, that infinite, it can be dropped, it is said. So what to talk about man who is attached to all five senses? It's very hard for him. And another example, this Adi Sankara, I don't know what he is. At the age of 15, 16, how come he can write all these things? I don't know really. Doshena tivro vishayaha Krishna sarpa vishadhapi Visham nihanti bhoktaram Drashtaram chakshusapyayam Doshena tivro vishayaha Krishna sarpa vishadhapi Visham nihanti bhoktaram Drashtaram chakshusapyayam. Please try to remember these verses or the meaning of these verses whenever you are feeling attracted towards the sense objects. See, here it says, Krishna Sarpa, black cobra. Krishna means black. Sarpa, cobra. Visha, the poison of the black cobra. You know what it is now? It's fatal actually. He says, Doshena tivraha vishayaha Krishna sarpa vishadapi. This poison of the sense objects is still intense than the poison of the cobra. Tivraha. Rumba tivra, no. Why saying that way? Because Visham nihanti bhoktaram. You are killed only if you are bitten or stung by the cobra. But here, drashtaram chakshusha apyayam. The Vishayas, sense objects, even if you see, you are killed. How beautiful. You need not consume. Just by looking at it, you are killed. So they are terrible. More terrible than the cobra. At least cobra, if you happen to place your legs or hands on the cobra, it gets agitated and it tuck. Then you feel the poison, right? And then you may die also if you are not treated properly. But here, just By seeing, you are killed. How true, na? So the snake, if you just see the snake, nothing happens to you. அது பாட்டு இங்கே எவ்வளோ ஸ்னேக்ஸ் இருக்கு தெரியுமா உங்களுக்கு? There are hundreds of snakes here. Not one or two, huh? Be careful. So, by looking at them, nothing will happen to us. But these Vishayas, the sense objects are terrible. Just by looking, you are killed. So, therefore, be careful. That is the warning given here. How wonderful, na? See, some people have got this thought fixation. That is, in psychology, there is a thing called thought fixation. When our thoughts get fixed on certain things, it is very difficult to change it. Some people get so fascinated by certain beauty or certain thing, and they cannot take their mind off from that, and they suffer because they are persecuted again and again by that object. See, especially when the fellows are young, their senses are always out, and their fascination for the sense objects are very, very intense. That is why I don't complain, I don't find fault with these youngsters, pavangal. They are exposed to so many anyayamana, vulgar things. And they don't have this thing to indulge also till particular time, and it keeps troubling them. So what will they do? Very hard actually. See, that is why everything is a dukkha here. In the childhood also there is so much of dukkha. In the youthhood also there is dukkha. Because these desires, kama vyavahara, is so troubling. So therefore, an intelligent person should discriminate properly and understand the reality behind it, and should develop dosha drishti. Dosha drishtya muhur muhu. We have seen uparati how it happens, dosha drishtya. Muhur muhu, we have to see the faults and then try to keep away. See, that is why we should not see things which are not to be seen, hear things which are not to be heard, at least the sadhaka. Those things create a lot of disturbances in the mind, See, nowadays everything is available in your hand. Those days you have to go to a cinema theater or somewhere to see things, but now everything is available in your own mobile. So when you see nonsensical things, your mind is disturbed. When you hear something very vulgar, awkward, mind is disturbed. I tell you, more than seeing, hearing is very disturbing, I tell you. The sound has got so much of power. So that is why a seeker should not be careless. Always he should be vigilant and careful. But you know what? We are all beyond all those things. Nothing will affect us, blah, blah, blah. No. No. It is all bullshit, rubbish. And these youngsters, they say, what is wrong in it? We are all friends. Nothing will happen to us. You are not Buddha. Everything is inside. So it is waiting for the opportune moment to just burst out. So in a weaker moment, you are carried away. In a rajasic moment, you are carried away. Therefore, it is said for the seeker, always be careful, be vigilant. So these senses are very powerful. Just on looking at it, you are killed. It is more dangerous than the black cobra. Keep away. But Swami, by keeping away, will it help? Because the vasanas are there. No, no, no. The first line of defense is keeping away. And then you can work on it. The second line of defense comes afterwards, discrimination. And then, right thinking and all. But the first line of defense advocated by our great rishis and munis is to keep away. First line of defense. And then you work on it. Try to understand what it is. And then be aware and allow it to pass. we cannot do anything else. We can just watch and observe and allow it to pass. Nothing else we can do. See, if you try to stop it from coming into your mind, you will fail miserably. Nobody can stop anything, especially the thoughts. How can you stop? When some vulgar thoughts are coming from your mind, oh my God, how this thought can come into me? I am a very good person, a very civilized person. I am a very dharmic person. How can these thoughts come to me? No, it will come. Why? Garbage in, garbage out. Because you have only put all those seeds in your heart. Not now, we don't know when. Those thoughts will come. Then, how does it matter? If you are very clear in your heart that these are not healthy, don't entertain. Entertain means what? Don't fight with them also. Don't indulge in them also. Just try to watch and observe dispassionately. Allow them to pass. That is how vasanas can be slowly and steadily can be reduced or can be given up. So that is the way to go. Bhagavan says, to whom these desires, and focus your attention from the objects to the knower of the object, from the experience to the experiencer. Then you will find out, who am I? Then along with the experiencer, all the experienced also will be gone. So this is the way out. There is no other way. But Swamiji, won't it become suppression? Won't it become suppression? Yes, it will become suppression if you are blindly trying to deny you the sense objects. But if with awareness, if you are really inspired by the higher goal, to attain that higher goal, if you are giving up the lower ones, with awareness, with understanding, it won't become suppression. Please understand. The Western thought, the Western fellows are, idiots. They don't know anything. Our rishis we have to follow. Our rishis, they have experimented with life sufficiently for thousands of years, and they have given this knowledge to us. Thousands of years they have sacrificed everything and they have experimented with this. When you are inspired by the very higher goal, in order to achieve that, if you are giving up the lower, it will not become suppression. Instead of blindly giving up, with awareness, with understanding, if you give up, it will not become suppression. Gurudev says it is sublimation. A very technical term he uses. Sublimation. See, in physics or in our science, it is said the solid, without becoming liquid, when it goes into a gaseous state, it is called a sublimation. Am I right, chemistry professor? So, yeah, without going into the liquid state, it goes straight in the gaseous state. It is called a sublimation. So, Gurudev, also a science student only, he says, without indulging in it, if you allow it to pass, so it is called a sublimation, he says. So, it is not suppression. So, therefore, we have to listen to our masters, what they say. So, therefore, this Vishaya, the senses, their dosha is atitivram. They are more dangerous than Krishna Sarpa Vishadapi, than the poison of the black king cobra. Because at least the poison of the cobra, nihanti bhoktaram. They kill you only when you are stung by it. But here, drishtaram chakshusha api ayam. On just looking at it, you are killed. Therefore, be careful. Vishayasha mahapashad yavimuktas suduts yajat Sayeva kalpate muktyai nanya shat shastra vedyapi. Vishayasha mahapashad yo vimuktas sudustyajad sayeva kalpate muktyai nanya shashastra vedyapi. Vishaya asha mahapashad yaha vimuktaha sudustyajat sayeva kalpate muktyai. See? Vishaya asha, the desire for the sense objects, the Vishayas. That is Mahapasha. Mahapasha means what? It's a great rope that binds. Yaha vimuktaha, one who comes out of that Vishaya, Asha, that desire for objects. Suduhu tyajat, it is very difficult to give up. He himself agrees. Adi Shankara says, Suduhu tyajat, it is very difficult to give up. But if one gives up the attachment or the great desire for the sense objects, Sahayeva kalpate muktyai, he alone is fit for the ultimate liberation, not the other person who is madly attached to the sense objects. And not only that, na anyaha shatshastra vedyapi, not the other person who is a sensuous person, even though if he is a master of all the 6 sciences, 6 branches of Veda Vedantas. Shatshastra vedyapi. Even if he has mastered all the Veda Vedantas, but if he is a sensuous person, attached to the senses, he is not fit for liberation, or he will not gain that liberation. Because the vasanas are there, he has to come back. Once again go through the same rut. That is why in our Atichudi, to go within Ahamuhappadu, the second instruction, Asai Vilak, give up desires, not reduce desire, give up desire. And in our 10th one, we have Aimpulan Arutteri, meaning you have to go beyond the senses without any doubt. Then only you can abide in the self. Otherwise, the mind is going to go out again and again. The senses are turbulent. And then how can you stay within? How can you abide in the self? They are contradictory. See, this is our traditional thought, please. Given by our Rishi Munis, after thousands of years of experimentation, very authentic. So we have to trust and believe in these words only. So it is very clear, this is a great bondage, Vishaya Asha, because it's called as Mahapasha. Mahapasha. So, Yaha Vimuktaha, one who is free from this desire for sense object, he alone is a fit student to receive the final beatitude, final liberation. Not others, even if they are masters of all the Veda Vedanta. Not for them. And then he agrees, Sudustyajat, it is very, very difficult to give it up. But still one has to. Tyage naike amrudatvamanshuhu. Only by giving up our attachment towards the sense objects, the beings, how we get attached to beings? Through emotional attachment, through emotional, Human beings always want some emotional support system. They say, I want the shoulders to lean. Or தோள் வேணும் எனக்கு சாஞ்சுக்க. ஏப்பா தலானில் சாஞ்சுக்கோயேன். No. I want a shoulder to lean. Always we want somebody to, Like a dog we are. We want somebody to pat us. Don't worry. Everything will be all right. We are also like dogs showing our. Uddhared atmanam vasadaye. Lift yourself by yourself. Don't depend on anybody. Dependence is sorrow. Independence is bliss. Don't get bound by anybody or anything. Be free. All these things come and go. They are all illusions, false. Don't get caught anywhere. In any objects or beings. Don't get caught in your own pet ideas, theories, concepts. Be free. Go beyond. That is the way to live in freedom. So more than the sense indulgence, even the emotional dependence is still very difficult to conquer, to give up. See, that is why even after 50, 60, even after 2, 3 divorces, people seek some companionship. No. It is not for physical indulgence, but just to keep company. That companionship, it's West, it is very, very popular. Companionship. Here the fellows want it, but they are very scared of the social stigma. Humans are humans everywhere, right? Everybody wants some, companionship. So therefore, it is very, very difficult to give it up. It is deep within us. And for intelligent people, they are very fond of their own pet theories, ideas and concepts. Vedantis, they are very, very angry when somebody says, oh, your Vedanta is nonsense. Oh, how can you say that? They get so much worked up. Why are you getting worked up? Let him say whatever he wants. Why are you so worked up? Because you are not sure about yourself. When you are in that, there is no doubt. Still you are only in the intellectual level. When somebody questions your ideas and concepts, you get so disturbed. That is a very deeper attachment. Not only we are attached to the ideas and concepts, we are attached to our intellectual capabilities. We think through intellect we can understand everything. We are very sure, especially the scientific community, they are very sure, with my intellect I can understand everything about this universe, about everything. Because this is the thing God means they don't believe in God also. The nature has given this intellectual, this thing, ability. And through that I can understand everything. I can peep into anything, unknown. Hari Rama, the fellow who is peeping through is the problem. As long as he is surviving, you will not understand anything. That fellow has to be dropped. No, I cannot drop. That is why yesterday I told you, the intelligent people suffer intelligently. The foolish people suffer foolishly. But intelligent people though, no, they don't suffer foolishly. They suffer intelligently. Because they are very worried about their, theories, ideas, concepts. You should see the Vedantins, indulging in this Vada Vivada. My God, Mimamsaka they say, and Vedantins, and in there also, Dvaitis, Advaitis, the way they cut each other. For what? To establish their point, means the ego is asserting. And they lose their whole life in that process. So as we are attached to the senses, our own emotions, we are attached to our intellectual ideas and concepts also. We have to go beyond that also. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Are you all okay with this